All right, let's do this. Today, we are dropping into one of the biggest games on the planet, Fortnite. Whether you're a complete rookie who's never touched the game, or maybe you're just looking to get a little bit better, think of this as your crash course. We're going to cover everything you need to survive and, yeah, even thrive. So let's get into it. So first off, just to give you a sense of the scale we're talking about here, look at this number, 250 million. That's how many registered players this game has. So yeah, Fortnite isn't just a game, it's a massive global phenomenon. Understanding it is like understanding a huge piece of modern culture. And this is the world you're about to dive into. It's a high-stakes, super colorful, action-packed arena. But hey, don't worry, we've got your back. We are going to break down every single thing you need to know step by step. Okay, before we can jump into the fight, you've got to understand the battlefield. So let's start with the absolute basics. What exactly is Fortnite at its core?
Well, at its heart, Fortnite is a battle royale. And that concept, it's actually brilliantly simple. You've got a bunch of players dropped onto one big island, and the goal is just be the last one standing. But there's a catch. A deadly storm is constantly shrinking the map, which forces everyone closer and closer together. It's this perfect, tense mix of strategy, skill, and, a little bit of luck.
So yeah, this image pretty much sums up your mission. You're going to explore this huge, vibrant island. You'll be searching buildings and cracking open chests for weapons and supplies, all while knowing that around any corner there could be an opponent waiting for you. Your one and only job? Outlast them all. Okay, so you get the goal now. Simple enough, right? So let's walk through what your very first match is actually going to look and feel like, from the second it starts to that final heart-pounding showdown.
Every single game of Fortnite follows this same core rhythm. First, you jump from this crazy flying bus, the battle bus. As soon as you land, you have to scramble to gear up with loot. That's your weapons, your shields, your healing items. All the while, you've got to keep an eye on the map to stay ahead of that shrinking storm. You manage all that, and you just might be the last one standing. And this right here, this is your first huge decision of the match, and you haven't even touched the ground yet. Where are you going to land? Do you drop into a chaotic, crowded city that has the absolute best loot? Or do you pick a quiet little spot on the edge of the map to gear up in peace? That one choice can literally make or break your entire game. So you've landed. You've found a weapon or two. Now what? Okay, let's dive into the two core mechanics that really truly separate Fortnite from every other game out there: building and shooting. You can't talk about Fortnite without talking about building. It is the game's signature move, the thing that changed everything. And as the legendary pro player Linja says here, it's not just about who can build the fastest, it's about strategy. Building basically turns a regular shooter into a wild, 3D chess match where you're creating the board as you play. And you're not just building little forts to hide in. See, when you're getting shot at, you can instantly throw up a wall for protection. That's defense. But then, you can immediately build a ramp to get above your enemy and attack. That's offense. Mastering this dual-purpose system is absolutely essential to winning. Let's break it down really simple. You have three basic pieces to work with: walls for cover, floors for making platforms and ceilings, and ramps to get up high. But here's the real magic. Each piece can be edited in a split second. You can pop a window in a wall to peek out, or open a hole in a floor to drop down on someone. It's an incredibly deep and creative system. Building is crucial for sure, but let's be real, you can't win a fight without a good offense. Fortnite has a massive arsenal of weapons. We're talking everything from assault rifles and shotguns to snipers and rocket launchers. Finding the right tool for the job is just as important as knowing how to build. And here's a super quick pro tip for when you're looting. Pay attention to the color of the weapon. They're color-coded by rarity. Gray is common. They're everywhere, but not very powerful. Then it goes up and up, all the way to a legendary gold weapon, which is super rare, but hits like a truck. The takeaway is simple. Always be looking to upgrade. All right, you've got the basics of building and shooting down. You know how to survive. But now let's talk about how to win. This is where we go from just playing the game to really thinking strategically. To really master this game, you have to know the island like the back of your hand. See, certain big locations on the map, what players call hot drops, have the best loot, but they also attract a ton of other players right from the start. It's a classic risk versus reward decision you have to make every single game. But here's maybe the most important thing to understand. The game is always changing. Every few months, a new season starts, the map changes, new weapons get added, some get taken away. So true mastery isn't about learning the game just once. It's about constantly learning and adapting your strategy on the fly. We've covered a lot of ground, but I want to leave you with a few quick, super actionable tips that the pros use every single day. Think of these as the secrets that can turn a close loss into a sweet, sweet victory royale. First up, box fighting. This is the art of fighting in those tight, enclosed boxes that you and your opponent are building. It's way more than just shooting. It's about owning the structures, controlling the pieces around your enemy. By quickly editing walls and placing your own ramps, you can trap them, create surprising angles, and just completely dominate the fight. Master this, and you'll own close quarters combat. Next, a classic rule of combat that is absolute gospel in Fortnite. Always, always try to get above your opponent. Being on the high ground gives you better vision, it makes you a harder target to hit, and it just puts them in a really bad spot. If someone's shooting at you from below, don't just stand there and shoot back. Build up. A quick ramp can completely turn the tide of a fight. And finally, if you're playing with friends in duos or squads, your most powerful weapon isn't a gun, it's communication. This means calling out where enemies are, of course, but it's also about sharing shields, sharing ammo. Use the in-game ping system to mark things for your team. A coordinated squad will almost always beat a team of random skilled players who aren't talking. It's a total game changer. So there you have it, your complete guide, from dropping out of that bus for the first time to finally claiming that victory. You have the knowledge now. You have the strategies. All that's left is for you to jump in and put it all into practice. The island is waiting. So the only question is, are you ready for the fight?